Why are in-laws despised in almost all cultures? In-laws are like a necessary evil. They do not volunteer their relationship, but a linchpin or third party drags them in. Initially, I thought that in-laws are despised only in South Asian cultures due to mother-in-law's binge brutal behavior with their sons' wives due to lack of education, even though, most often, wives are their relatives. Men's mothers choose their nieces or close relatives as wives for their sons. I later realized that such repugnance is universal amongst even educated people in developed countries. The crux of this perpetual issue seems to be rooted in the creational disposition of the divine. When a mother bears a son, she assumes him to be a panacea for every problem in her mortal life. There comes a time when her son becomes so central to her utmost attention that she starts dismissing even her lifelong partner, her husband. When the son attains adulthood, she starts fantasizing about bringing in a queen to curb his carnality, oblivious to the reality that he will become the king of the queen by relegating her status to a basal level. Sometimes back, at least in South Asian cultures, the position of the son's mother was vertical and unchallenged, which due to changes in dynamics, education, and the spread of hedonistic individualism, where rights supersede duties, has been drastically truncated. It is beyond the stretches of her imagination, thus, she becomes resolute to retain her status and rights. The inducted queen, on the other hand, takes it for granted that her husband is her sole property. She is not ready to accept any role of his mother, howsoever little, in her son's life. So, it becomes a never-ending tug-of-war between the two. Unfortunately, presently for reasons delineated above, both spouses have joined hands in rebuking out the in-laws of both sides. In underdeveloped or developing countries, in-laws, the husband's parents are often accommodated as an extended family since the brides usually move into their house with their sons. In developed countries' nuclear family systems, on the other hand, living with in-laws is like living with demons. I came across a few instances where the real son or daughter hates living with his/her own parents and even resents their visiting for a few days. It is the worst example of hedonistic individualism. Humans in pursuit of hedonistic pleasure, enslave themselves to individualistic goals and act as they dictate. In the present individualistic, materialistic worldview where rights take precedence over responsibilities, we have become habituated to disregarding communitarianism for the sake of a nuclear family with a few or no children. In-laws, who once used to be respectable elders, have become a source of anguish, economic burden, and psychological stress. As a result, most of them are lurking in senior homes, and those who become terminally ill are sent to hospice to get euthanized. I have witnessed firsthand that when a person arrives in a hospice, he is treated well for a few days, and then put to induced unconsciousness, with little or no food, to die within the next few days. This gruesome practice, with the connivance and tacit approval of the government, is so common that people have become completely desensitized to let millions be euthanized, like stray dogs. The U.S. government, through this heinous practice, saves billions of dollars in medical expenses and social security payments, etc. Cross-culture relationship. Cross-culture differences usually are tough to navigate, especially when in-laws are also involved. Such in-laws may have specific expectations from the inductee spouse. There may emerge disagreement on basic things, like food and drink choices. There may also develop differences in the choice of professional career and lifestyle, etc. When marrying a spouse from a different culture, one should be ready for some adjustments from an individualistic to a collective lifestyle or vice versa. Open communication, compromise, and understanding can make family life a pleasant experience. Avoid employing the relation management agency of your spouse or some other close relative with your in-laws, for it is a non-voluntary, triadic relationship. Always build direct relationships for clear understanding and building mutual trust. Religious conversion. With the increasing assimilation of foreigners into Western societies, there are numerous instances where one spouse converts to the religion of the other to get married. Apparently, it seems a simple matter, but often a result of an impulsive and not well thought out decision, so, unlike cultural conversion, entails far and wide ramifications. The most important thing in anyone's life is his faith. When someone abandons it for trivial gains, such as getting married to someone of a different faith, such a myopic and mercurial person cannot be reliable. Because the one who can dare abandon his faith, would not hesitate to betray another person? Muslim women should especially be mindful of such conversions. One should carefully study and understand the religion to be adopted. It should not be a means to a short-sighted end but a matter of lifelong commitment. Abandoning a religion, either before or after the marriage, may entail a lot of complications, such as severance of existing lifelong relationships, sour relationship with the new spouse and her immediate relatives, and eventual divorce, etc. Vertical hierarchy in most Asian cultures has been an established norm for centuries. In it, parents and elders enjoy the boss-like position and are given utmost respect. Those who intend to marry Asian spouses should bear this fact in mind and be ready to act accordingly. Thank you for using panacea Basic. It is mostly those who are at the lowest ebb of the human traits, except neuroticism discussed hereunder, who are direly opposed to living with in-laws or one's parents. Openness describes an individual's openness towards experience. Those at the lowest ebb prefer familiarity and may not express emotions openly, like a routine or fixity. Extroversion refers to a person's comfort level with his environment. Those at the lowest ebb are task-oriented, reserved, like to keep things to themselves, quiet, and private. Agreeableness measures how well a person gets along with others. Those at the lowest ebb are on guard, make objective judgments, self-centered, persistent, doubtful, uncooperative, and maybe even combative. Conscientiousness, the degree to which a person is characterized, as such, for his dependability, rigidity. Those at the highest ebb are organized, like routine and plan, disciplined, goal-oriented, thorough, detail-oriented, and can be a compulsive perfectionist, unwelcoming to changes or variations. I would conclude this piece with 2 suggestions for better understanding and enduring relationships. Change your perception of mother/father-in-law to your own parents and treat them as such. Frequently communicate social support. Always know that your spouse has a biological, unbreakable bond with his parents, whereas you only have a social or common law terminable contractual relationship with your spouse. Comment /like/share /follow and subscribe. Shakir Mumtaz. Author, thinker, analyst. Thank you for using panacea Basic.